Yes, guys, welcome back to Kosti's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. How are you guys doing? It's another live stream. Free agents. We are heading into the summer, and that is my focus in this video. So I'm going to stream around 30 minutes, and we need to talk about the free agents I've been considering, because I was listening to Fabrizio Romano last time, and he said something very interesting but true, that many small teams are struggling financially, but that doesn't mean the big giants, the giants of football, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United. He said that doesn't mean they are not struggling. The COVID-19 pandemic has just destroyed the economies of these clubs. You've had Arsenal losing 40 million pounds, I think around 44. Then you have had Dortmund losing around 44 million pounds as well. So many clubs have lost money, and probably free agents, just like last summer, free agents could be something to do. And I think there's some free agents you can do as long as you can do them right. Remember last season, we brought in Willian last summer. Willian on a free deal. I don't think it was a bad signing, but he has proved out to be not of the best signings. But so Goal.com have actually compiled a list of free signings, and I was just amused by the work. I just want to look at it. I just want us to look through it and see who are those players Arsenal probably could go for, as free agents in the summer. Yeah, probably for an upgrade, because we do need an upgrade in many areas. So this is according to Go. I just want to look at their work, and of course, much credit to Goal.com. They always write those interesting pieces. So the first player is Aguero. The first free agent is Aguero, and they're saying one of the Premier League's greatest goal scorers of all time, Sergio Aguero, stands at crossroads with his Manchester City contract running down. So that's the first player. Probably, you could think about it. Can Arsenal go for Sergio Aguero? There have been links that Arsenal could actually go for Aguero. Yeah, Fabrizio said it's a deal that's doable. It's a deal that Arsenal could do if we want to do it. And probably we need a goal scorer. If Alexander Lacazette leaves in the summer, that puts us in a situation where Arsenal need to get in a very strong goal scorer. And I think Sergio Aguero could be one of those players we could look at. The only problem he would have is his salary. That is the only problem you're thinking about. His salary. He's been a wonderful goal scorer at City. 20 plus goals for 5 consecutive seasons ever since I think 2014. That is remarkable as a striker. Last time I was here listening to mikel, and he said the project City have built, Aguero has been the face of that project, and you cannot disagree. Before Kevin De Bruyne, the greatest City player there has been Aguero. Then players like David Silva, you can think about them. But Aguero is one player I would take at Arsenal. I just want to be very true to myself. I think I would take him at Arsenal. He's an interesting player. Cheap, free agent. Maybe the wages, if Arsenal can pay his wages, probably if he can agree to reduce his wages to around 150,000, you could use him for 2 seasons and let him go, because he's clinical. Just imagine if you had Aguero at the top of that striking line against Slavia Prague, would be totally speaking a very different language. So I would take Aguero at Arsenal. The other player is David Alaba, and Bayern Munich defender Alaba, an elder statesman of all conquering Bayern Munich team. It appears that David Alaba has set his sights on a new challenge away from Germany. This is a player that has been with Germany, with Bayern, not with Germany but with Bayern, for the past 6 years, and you think he's been performing consistently at a top level for all those years. We've got to agree. So tell me, would you take David Alaba to Arsenal? Because first and foremost, we need a left back option. He's been linked with Chelsea. He's been linked with Real Madrid, and reports are saying that he has a pre-contract with Real Madrid. Of course, that has been written around, and of course, you've got to respect that. But he's a fascinating player. Look, I love Tierney, but if it means using David Alaba for 1 or 2 seasons and then you let him go, and then Tierney becomes, that main defender again, I'll take David Alaba as well. The experience, the talent, he's just so good as a player. You just got to accept, you just got to give the credit where it's due. He's so good as a player. Alaba is one of those finest real left backs we've seen, and he's so versatile to an extent that you're gonna see him in the midfield, you're gonna see him in the left back position. He can play centre back. He's a very, very, very talented guy, very talented. I would take him at Arsenal. There are no questions there, but the only hindrance there is first and foremost probably the wages. He might want to get a lot of wages since he's a free agent. And probably teams like Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid are the ones that could actually go in for such a deal. But the other problem is if you have Tierney around, are you putting David Alaba on the bench? I don't think he's the quality to come from Bayern Munich, a Bayern Munich starter to an Arsenal bench squad player. So probably that would be another hindrance. We might not go for him. Still scrolling down, we have another interesting one. Juan Bernat is now another free agent, and this one is an interesting one. Spanish international Juan Bernat looks set for departure from PSG this summer with deal expiring. A left back who counts Bayern Munich and Valencia among his former clubs is reportedly on the radar for Barcelona. Look, Bernard, I don't know, but I've never been in a situation where I feel let's go for that deal. Let's just go for that. Look, I think with Arsenal looking for a backup left back, Juan Bernat is interestingly possible. It's a deal you could do. He's a free agent. I don't think he's going to ask for lots and lots of money. However much is coming for PSG. I've seen him at Bayern. He was exciting there. Look, it's a deal that we can do probably. I mean, we've not been linked with Juan Bernat before. Like Alaba, I think Alaba we've been linked with before. I've not seen Arsenal linked with Juan Bernat unless I've not seen the rumors. But you could think about him. You want a player who sits on the bench, waiting for Tierney, Juan Bernat. How old is he? Probably I could just see. However, it will depend on who is the presidential race with candidate Victor Font say to be. Now, really, I don't think he will go for Barcelona. But I think you could go for Juan Bernat. If he doesn't renew his contract at PSG, I would take him. The other player is Jerome Boateng. Do we need? Are we in need of a centre back? I don't know. Probably Mikel Arteta could answer that in one of his press conferences. But here they're saying Jerome Boateng, a Bayern Munich defender, a winner of 2 Champions Leagues and World Cup, as well as 8 German championships. Jerome Boateng is highly decorated. The centre back has spent 10 seasons in Bavaria, but his contract runs down this summer, and while he will turn 33 in 2021, he is still regarded. Should he move away from Germany? Italy seems most likely destination, with reports of interest from Juventus, AC, and Inter Milan. Oh, look. I don't think we need a centre back. David Louis, Jerome Boateng. Who do I take there? I'll take. And look, I've seen some nasty experiences of both players where I'm like, I wouldn't take Jerome Boateng. I wouldn't take David Louis. But they're both decorated players, very, very highly and very decorated players. So probably you would consider taking them. You would consider taking them, or taking one of them, and for me that would be Jerome Boateng. Someone in the comments say Gigi Donnarumma. I'm going to talk about Gigi Donnarumma in a second, and that one is a very interesting one, very, very interesting one. We should do a video about him. I think I'm going to study more about his his playing style as a goalkeeper, and then I'll try to do a video comparing him to Ban Leno. But Jerome Boateng is another decorated, experienced centre back. At the moment, when you have Gabriel Magalhaes and Rob Holding and William Saliba, who lack experience, I think you would go for a player like Jerome Boateng just to provide that defensive experience, because I don't feel like Pablo Mari gives that a defensive experience. I feel like he's a good player. I feel like he's this kind of player that is calm. He gives you that calm mode in the central defense, but I just don't think he's that kind of player that oh yeah, Arsenal has signed Pablo Mari, he's one of the best centre backs. No, but Jerome Boateng, the experience he has, especially with Europe, probably he could be a deal Arsenal could do. I mean, why not? The other one is an interesting one that we've been linked with before, a player that we have contacted for a potential signing. I did that story, and I did how Arsenal could line up with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, AC Milan. Forward, and here, according to Go, they're saying that having taken some time to truly make his mark at the San Siro, Hakan Çalhanoğlu has finally exerted his influence at AC Milan. However, his contract is running down this summer. The Italian club face a fight to keep him on board, though they remain confident. Yeah. Just below there, Gola saying that United were much interested, and there were reports actually, I think in January. No, they were in February. I think in February, I watched it with Mark Goldbridge. Probably January or February, that Hakan Çalhanoğlu, was agreeing a deal to join Manchester United on a free deal in the summer. However, those reports were not true. I'm not saying Goldbridge was wrong. What I'm trying to say is, those reports, I mean, they were not true. At the end, of course, there's so many misleading reporters and reports out there. But and Goal.com are writing about it, and saying that United are reportedly keen on Turkey international, who possesses seriously impressive free kick ability. That is one of the things I like about Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I hope you can see the picture very well. I'm more interested in you guys seeing the picture than than the writing. So Çalhanoğlu is an interesting player, very interesting, and he has that ability to take free kicks. Look, at Arsenal, the truth is, yeah, we've seen Pepe trying to do that, but the problem is the consistency. When did Pepe last take a free kick? When Pepe takes a free kick, the next day it's Saka. You just need that man, is charged with taking free kicks. And for me, I think Hakan has that ability. So so good at dead ball situations. Consider him another David, another James Ward-Prowse. I think the difference there is his free kicks are more of style. Think about Payet, and then Dimitri Payet, and then James Ward-Prowse uses more of energy in his free kicks. But he's a very interesting player, especially in that forward role, playing as the number 10. I've already said that if we do not get Martin Odegaard on a long-term contract, or resign him on loan, you can go for Hakan Çalhanoğlu, free agent. He's not going to ask for millions and millions of money. Probably, you could give him 12k a week or 13k a week. Okay, no, not 12, but 120 probably thousand a week. And then he's gonna walk away with that. 120k, 130k. But Milan want to keep him, so we have to wait and see whether he will decide to stay or not. The other player is Edinson Cavani. I wouldn't take Cavani. That's the truth. I wouldn't take Cavani. I know he's had some incredible moments at the Old Trafford and with Manchester United. He scored for them brilliant goals. And all I can say about Cavani is, you need a player like Cavani. Every team needs a player like Cavani, because what Cavani gives you is highly different from strikers like Alexander Lacazette. Cavani is a box finished article of a striker. That kind of player that you think, but of course I've seen the rumors, I've seen the news that United would want to extend his contract, but most of the reports indicate he's not going to be staying around, and that's why United are linked with Haaland and a couple of other strikers. And here they're saying Uruguayan striker Edinson Cavani, Cavani's deal with United runs out this summer, but the Red Devils have an option to extend. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has hinted that a one-year extension will be triggered, but Cavani will have other options despite his advancing years. I think you just need to learn your lesson as United. You just need to learn your lesson as Arsenal. You have Martin Odegaard on loan. You have Cavani on loan as United. You know now you need these players because the impact Cavani has made this season is greater than the impact of Anthony Martial at United, and the impact Odegaard has made is greater than the impact of any number 10 or any creative player at Arsenal. So what I would say is I wouldn't take Cavani at Arsenal, but I would want a player like Cavani, that book striker that creates spaces, for his wingers to score. That book striker that takes his chances when they come in. I'm sorry, Tottenham. I know you know what I'm talking about. The other exciting one, very exciting player, by the way, very, very exciting player is Memphis Depay. Really, this one is a real one. Memphis Depay is a real one, and I would take him. I would take him at Arsenal. I would take Memphis Depay at Arsenal. He's he's a player that I think had a setback in his career, and he made the right move to the right team in the right league to revamp himself. He's been linked with Barcelona, and I know Goldmaster have written something about him, and they're saying the Netherlands international Memphis Depay has matured into quality footballer at Lyon, and his performances have earned admiring glances from Barcelona. The former United winger has worked under Ronald Koeman before with the national team, but any move to Camp Nou will depend on who wins the presidential race. Of course, that is this was written a little bit older as per time of recording, but Memphis Depay, he's more of a winger. Yeah, he's more of a winger. I understand. I would take him. I don't know if I'm just being selfish, not selfish, but greedy, but I would take him. I would take him as a player. Look, their players, are quality. Do his wages, get him at Arsenal. There's a difference. He is a difference. But the problem, of course, we have so many players now, on the forward line. You have Pepe, you have Willian, you have Saka, you have Martinelli, you have Aubameyang, you have Lacazette. Unless you're telling me if we move on Lacazette and Alba, I would get Memphis Depay. He scores the goals. The statistics are good. Dribbles are good. Very good at assisting. I think he just never had it, at United. He needed more time. United never gave him, gave him that time. He went to France, did what he had to do, and now he has established himself as one of those best players you can ever think of. So I would take Memphis Depay at Arsenal. I'll take him. But then I would move on Pepe or Willian. Probably if there is a deal to move on Willian, I would move on Willian and bring on Memphis Depay. Depay is quality. Memphis Depay is quality, and I'm pretty surprised that. Sorry for that. I'm surprised that there are not so many clubs interested in him. I don't know why, but personally, I would take him at Arsenal. I would move on, give Balogun give Balogun a new contract, get Memphis Depay, move on Willian, keep Pepe and Martinelli and Saka, and that could be my my forward line. Okay, Angel Di Maria, the Angel, is a free agent. How many of you would take Angel Di Maria at Arsenal? I just want to know. How many of you would take Angel Di Maria at Arsenal? Shout out in the comments if you feel Angel Di Maria is that kind of player you would take at Arsenal. Because, truth be told, I would take Di Maria at Arsenal. He's interesting. He's interesting as a player. But I think he has had his time. In this summer, if you tell me, do we sign him? No, I don't think. I don't think we should sign him. But I've seen him at United. We've seen him at PSG. We've seen him at Real Madrid. Is there anything he has not won? No, nothing. He's won, the La Liga. He's won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Probably he could win it this year with PSG. They have beaten Bayern, who are favorites. Yeah, he's interesting, but I wouldn't take him at Arsenal at the moment. But 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if the opportunity, laid itself for Arsenal. Probably we should have done it, but I think here they're saying contract talks between PSG and Angel Di Maria were opened in November, but upheaval at the end of at the club at the end of 2020 means the Argentinian's future is still up in the air. So probably he's gonna look to stay. Another one that has been linked with Arsenal highly has been Julian Draxler. World Cup winning midfielder Julian Draxler could be forgiven for thinking his career would be different. Would be different than it is in 2020. He arrived at Paris Saint-Germain from Schalke with enormous potential, but hasn't quite lived up the hype and has fallen down the pecking order. If you ask me what happened to Julian Draxler, my answer is I don't know. I don't know what happened to Draxler. He was the talent. He was that number 10 that everyone wanted on their side. He was that number 10 that I thought every team could have signed. He was fascinating, was so good. But when he signed for Schalke, and I think this was the problem, because I think Arsene Wenger wanted him around 7 years ago or 8 years ago. Him and Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, they were playing with no, not Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. Yeah, him and Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. I remember they beat us in the Champions League. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar and Julian Draxler. He was a player that I don't know what happened. I think him and Mario Götze are those German talents we didn't see to full potential. Because the truth is, Götze was a generational talent. Draxler was sensational. We never saw the fullest of them. But I think Draxler is interesting. We need a number 10. He's still young, around 26, 27. Would you take him at Arsenal as a person? I think we need a little bit more, an aggressive player than him. Gigi Donnarumma. So Gianluigi Donnarumma, AC Milan goalkeeper. AC Milan goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma has been touted for a move away from San Siro ever since he broke onto the scene as a precious teen. With his resolutely running out this summer, the client of Mino Raiola could finally be on the match. Now, when Mino Raiola is the agent, Arsenal is far away. Is he a goalkeeper I would want to consider? 100%. Look, ever since he was a teenager and he broke into that AC Milan side, of course they were struggling. They had their own issues as AC Milan, and they've just managed to find themselves back on the road. I think he was a talent that you couldn't doubt. Donnarumma, one of the youngest goalkeepers we've seen in Europe. I think he's a perfect successor, to take over from Gigi Buffon. Italy. I don't know why Juventus are not interested, or they are not interested, or they don't want to buy. I don't know, but I think he is a player I would take. Look, Leno is good enough. Is he the best goalkeeper Arsenal can do? No, it's not the best option. If you have Gigi Donnarumma on your side in the same team with Leno, do you start Leno? No. He doesn't start, ahead of Gigi Donnarumma. So I will take him. I will take Donnarumma. Probably Eric Garcia. This one has been linked with Arsenal very closely. I think it's because of the Mikel Arteta influence with the club, and I think Barcelona will be taking him because there are so many reports that he has agreed a contract with Barcelona, according to Fabrizio Romano. But he's another defender I don't trust in, by the way. He's another defender I do not trust in, but people say he's very good, and I can't make my comments anywhere. David Luiz's contract is going to be running down. There are rumors there that David Luiz could actually get a new contract, and he stays at the club as a coach and a player. So we'll wait and see what happens in the summer. I don't want to comment about that. The other player is Moussa Marega, Porto forward. Moussa Marega as a free agent this summer, and the Mali international could be on his way to the Premier League. West Ham, Newcastle United and Wolves are reportedly interested in the striker who has found the net regularly for the Portuguese giants. Arsenal are looking for a striker. The cheap deals are there. Juan Mata, he just needs to go away from the Premier League. That's the truth. There's no way of telling me that Juan Mata is staying in the Premier League unless he gets a new contract with Manchester United. I don't see him staying there in the Premier League. Lionel Messi, another interesting one. I think this is a PSG deal. Truth be told, I think this is a PSG deal. PSG, Manchester City. So Arsenal fans, stay away from that. But I think I don't know whether Barca will do well without him, but he puts Barcelona in a very, very quite difficult scenario. Arcadius Milk, Napoli. Poland international Arcadius Milk is still in his mid-20s, but he has already shown at Napoli, Ajax and Bayer Leverkusen. His performances for Napoli in particular have earned plenty of admirers, with Atletico Madrid, Tottenham and Marseille all reportedly weighing up offers. I loved him more when he was still in the Netherlands, Arcadius Milk, before he signed for Napoli. I think he came to Napoli as a potential replacement of Gonzalo Higuain, and because when Higuain moves to Juve from Napoli at a very expensive fee, Napoli wanted a striker. They went for Arcadius Milk, but he's not the quality of striker I want at Arsenal, so I don't need to speak much about that. Henrik Mkhitaryan is another one whose contract is running down. We've had him at Arsenal. He didn't work for us. Luka Modric. Look, Madrid are not going to give you this one. But a Ballon d'Or winner, Luka Modric, is now one of the old guard at Real Madrid, but he could move in the summer. The Costa Rica international is 35, and his deal is running out, with the likes of Inter and Tottenham being linked, despite rumors of a new deal being put on the table. Now, there is no way they're going to give you Luka Modric. There's no way they're giving you Luka Modric. No way. Absolutely no way. Let's just be very, very serious. There is no way they're going to give us Luka Modric. No, they'll sign a new contract. Squadron Mustafi, none of our business. None of our business, really. Sergio Ramos, if you need a centre back, if you think about a centre back, quality centre back, then that is the man. But I think he will stay with Real Madrid. I think he'll stay with Real Madrid. United have been interested. Marcos Rojo is another one. No. Danny Rose is another. Yeah, we could go for Dan Rose, but he's not going to sit on the bench at Arsenal. He wants more playing time as a player. That's why that's why he was quarreling with Jose Mourinho that you're not giving me football. So I think he doesn't want to sit on the bench. Florian Thauvin. Another generational talent, by the way. Thauvin revived his career by returning to Marseille in 2016, having endured difficulty at Newcastle. He appears comfortable in the south of France, but his contract expires this summer, meaning he'll be free to negotiate with other clubs. Thauvin is a good player. I've seen him. He's a good player, but no, I'm not thinking about Arsenal. Lucas Vazquez, a Real Madrid youth product. Lucas Vazquez has been a member of the senior squad for 6 seasons, but his position in the team is now in doubt, and he'll be mulling over his options as his contract runs down as well. Gigi Wijnaldum. Okay, I think this is the last one. Gigi Wijnaldum. I was going to get surprised if we don't look at Gigi Wijnaldum. It's another interesting one, by the way. Thanks everybody who has watched this video. Please make sure you hit the share button and the like button and the subscription button as well. But Gigi, Gigino Wijnaldum, I prefer to call him Gigi, is another interesting player, very, very interesting player. They're saying Netherlands international Gigino Wijnaldum has been a key member of Jurgen Klopp's team over the past few years, but his time at Anfield could be approaching the end. Barcelona is understood to be interested in acquiring his services. Yeah, I'll take him. So everybody's like, "Bad coach, what are you saying?" Yeah, I'll take him. Look, we have Granit Xhaka in that area. He's better than Granit Xhaka. We don't have money. we want an improvement, I'll take him. Why not? I'll take him. Look, I'll take him for around 2 seasons. If we look, because Arsenal could get out of that transfer window without signing a partner to Thomas Partey. It could happen. Why not take Gigi Wijnaldum then? I'll take Gigi Wijnaldum. But it's been an interesting video, and it's been interesting to talk to you guys. I think the 5, okay, the 10, because I said 10. The 10 I'll take Gigi Wijnaldum as a free agent and partner him with Thomas Partey. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. So I'll take Gigi Wijnaldum. Obviously, I would. I'll take Memphis Depay. Arsenal, I would take him. I would take Aguero and Arsenal. I would take him as a free agent. I'll take Kiki Donnarumma. He's a decent goalkeeper. I'll take him and give him the money he wants. I'll take Hakan Çalhanoğlu as well. He's another decent player. So those are the 5 that I think Arsenal should look at, and then the other options we need to spend money. Signing out, and I'll speak to you tomorrow in the morning with more transfer news, more Arsenal updates. Don't forget, tomorrow watch the Europa League. The reaction is going to be live, and I'm still weighing up my options if the match will be live as well. But the match build up will be live. Go and watch the Champions League. I'm out of this place.